Hey everyone, I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, and today we're going to be talking about my May social media blockchain metrics and earnings report, where I go through how I've progressed on various platforms as well as how much I've earned on those platforms. I'm going to try to go through a little bit quicker today because I'm trying to speed up the pace of my videos and shrink down the times a little bit and just give you guys a bit more of a succinct overview of things. You let me know if I'm missing anything or if you felt anything was different, but I'm just going to kind of hammer through this with the main focus being on earnings and some of the changes that I've seen on these platforms and less of a focus on just, the small arbitrary changes in my metrics. And I post these every month anyway, so if you're really curious, you can go and see. Plus, I go over the actual page, so you could just pause it and, read it for yourself if you want to. But so I'll be trying to be really succinct with this one, and going forward, I'll try to be much more succinct so I can just hammer these out really quickly. I've been really slacking on my content lately. I got sick again. I was busy doing a bunch of things. I know I keep saying I want to make more content, but hopefully I'm able to deliver on that. And the comprehensive review is absolutely, without a doubt, coming in July. So I promise that you will see that very soon. But we're going to dive into all this after a quick word from my sponsor.
A big thank you and shout out to my sponsor, Cake Wallet, which is an open source, non-custodial Bitcoin and Monero wallet that also has a built-in exchange. It's available on iOS and Android.
Okay, thanks again to my sponsor. So we're looking at the report for May. I'm just going to briefly go through the metrics changes. Again, we're over 156,000 followers now, so that's really great to see. I'm up to 445,000 engagements, 1.065 million video views, 68,000 comments, 22.6 million impressions. Everything's tracking along as it normally is. Realistically, though, I've been posting way less, so this has gone down a little bit, but if there's any significant differences, it's probably more so the case that I've been posting less. But I've noticed a pretty strong correlation with how the market is performing and how well I'm earning. Not necessarily how well I'm doing on social, but in terms of actually how much I'm earning, I've noticed a pretty noticeable difference in the downtrend, obviously, as the market goes down. So it tends to be, or it seems to be rather, less people are searching for this type of content, less people are worried about earning crypto and more worried about not losing their crypto. So because my videos are not as focused on market news, which is probably much more what people are focused on right now, and they probably are looking for, extra stuff when the going is good and not so, worried about earning a dollar here, a dollar there on social platforms. So I think that all makes sense. But I've been posting less too. So there's obviously that as well. And I know I keep saying I want to post more, but I've just had so much going on. This has been a very roller coaster year, and realistically I'm a little burnt out too, but I want to be doing as much as possible. I think part of it is that I'm becoming such a perfectionist about the content that I create. I do so much research and so much prep that I get bogged down by all the work that has to go into it. And then, even just publishing to like 40, 50 platforms takes me hours just to do that. So I might change up my process a little bit so that it's not as cumbersome, so that I can do more. And I think that might be the best way going forward. And maybe I'll just change up a few of the places I'm posting, but I will keep trying to test everything and, give you guys the summary of all this information with these reports. So not a lot has changed for these platforms. I mean, they're progressing as usual. Everything else is, not a lot is going on. I am really getting ready for interviews though. I've scheduled a bunch this month. July is going to be the month of interviews. I've got just for next week, I've got Chad Bareford from Thorchain. This Sunday, I'm going to be on the Cash Daddy podcast. I'm going to do another follow-up with Colin Pate from Presearch on Wednesday as well. and I have to reschedule something for 3Speak and looking at the new Larynx token, the 3Speak network, also talking about HBD. And I'll also do some similar content with Crimson Clad, a witness from Hive. So I have a lot in the pipeline. I'm also going to be doing something with Luke Mulks, again, following up with him from Brave Browser. So there's a lot coming. July is going to be a packed month. I'm really excited to really get things going again. So I hope you guys are excited as well. And then, as always, I mentioned real quick that I do have a few ongoing sponsors, but for the most part, I just have, sponsors come and go, and I just do in-video sponsorships, as you saw earlier, or Twitter promotion. If you don't like Twitter promotions, you can follow me on the many, many other blockchain platforms I'm on, and I don't post any promotions there. The only promotions you'll see are in-video sponsored ads within the first few minutes of my video, and you can just skip those, usually 10 seconds. And then I have all this here just so you know everything I've worked with. Always trying to be 100% transparent with you guys, and I will continue to do that. Now we'll jump to the part that I know you guys are most interested in, which is how much I'm earning. Obviously, I've massively fallen off. This is one of the lowest reported earnings I've had in a very, very long time, and we'll compare to the other earnings in a moment from previous months. But yeah, in the past 2.7 years, this is probably one of the lowest earnings I've ever had. So very unfortunate, but realistically, last month was the least amount of posts that I've ever done too. So there's definitely something to be said about really just, me and how much I'm actually putting in the content and doing the work there. But there's also definitely some sort of correlation with the market, because I've been posting a lot less in general over the past several months. So to see it go this low is pretty unprecedented. But regardless, I think most of the platforms are still fairly in line at scale in how they normally perform. Like PublishOX is still, $10 is not bad. Brave Browser gave me $1, but that's just from, passive ads and stuff like that. LBRY/Odysee, pretty dismal, but that's kind of in line with how they've been performing lately. Hive was much lower, but still the best performing with $85.46 plus an extra $2 coming from LeoFinance. I've drastically changed the way I've been using Hive as well. I've pulled out pretty much all of my HBD and invested that into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Clearly at the wrong time, because it continued to drop after that. So I should have not done that realistically. I was just caught up in the whole algorithmic stablecoin problems, and I just didn't want to have that happen again with HBD. But I'll talk more about that in my investing update tomorrow. Today I mainly want to just focus on earnings. For Coast.tv, $5, not terrible. Read.Cash and Noise.Cash continue to be my second best, bringing in $60. So, $217 is low, but it's still better than nothing. It still pays for some bills and things. It's nothing to scoff at, especially for, a few posts that I did, because again, I didn't really post very much, but, if you can post a few times and get $200, that's still pretty good. And even though this is the lowest earnings I've ever received, it's still a good signifier that you can still make money off of this. It's just not a full-time pursuit, unless you're really treating it like a full-time pursuit. Because maybe if I was able to scale and do 10, 20x more posts, maybe I could scale my earnings as well. And hopefully in July, I'll be able to sort of test that out a little bit by posting significantly more and seeing how this pans out from having done that. However, the next report will be probably even worse than this one, because I posted even less in June than I did in May, unfortunately. But in the one after that, I think we'll have a much better idea of if this is more related to market conditions or related to how much I'm actually posting. And I think that will give some good insight for people who have been following along with all these reports. DTube only gave me about $10, so, kind of unfortunate, but DTube is still a solid platform to be using. YouTube, $31, Blurt, $6, and Saray, almost $3. I think realistically, if you're going to do anything, post on Hive and then post on DTube, and then from DTube, share your post to Steam and Blurt, and try to just maximize your earnings through that cross-posting possibility that DTube offers, which is really convenient. And then if you have time, throw something up on Saray as well, because you could just copy paste it from Hive or wherever. It's the same, markdown. It's the same layout if you just copy and paste it over, because Saray is just like Blurt. It's just another clone of Hive. And that's really all I would recommend at this point. And then if you're doing blogs, of course, use Read.Cash, because Read.Cash is still phenomenal. But if you're only going to use a couple things, it's Hive, Read.Cash, and then DTube and all the ones connected to it. That's kind of my breakdown for earnings and where I think you should be focused. Again, everything's really, really down, but I'm still testing things out. I always go back occasionally and check everything else. Like I looked at Yup the other day, looked at Dragon Chain for Den.social. A lot of the platforms that I've stopped really paying attention to, it's for good reason. I mean, they're still not really doing a whole lot. I'm still posting to Rockfin, but I earn so little there that it's not really worth reporting. And the minimum withdrawal is so high that it's unlikely that I'm going to reach that for a very, very long time. And when they have massive minimum withdrawals, I tend to not want to report their earnings, because it's misleading. People think, oh, wow, I can earn this, I can earn this. But it's like, yeah, but you might not even get that out for like a year or something. So you have to work a very long time before you can actually see the benefits and like reap the rewards of all of your efforts. And who knows, they could go bankrupt and shut down before that happens. Then you wasted a full year. I'd rather just stick to the ones that have like instant withdrawal ability and instant liquidity. That's just the way that I go about it. In terms of comparing this to all the other months that I've earned crypto over the years, this is a massive falling off point from the previous month, about 65% down. And this is, in fact, the lowest earnings I've ever recorded. And I guess February was the first record month for the lowest. Then March was the lowest. Things started to pick back up a little bit in April, but that's mainly because of Hive doing so well. And then now May is the lowest ever. So, it's really unfortunate to see, but it is interesting how this graph would correlate with the crypto market overall. It is very closely aligned to how that looks in terms of like performance. So there could be some correlation there. It could just be really because I'm posting way less, and that's probably realistically the case. I'm just not doing as much. I want to be doing more, but I'm just so bogged down by my job and everything that's been going on lately. I keep getting sick ever since I got COVID. Maybe there is something to long COVID. I have no idea. Regardless, though, I aim to get back on this. The next big video that I'm doing is why I don't like Omi and Vivi. Very, very centralized NFT marketplace. Really, really unideal to be using that at all. And it's completely centralized by Google and Apple, which you do not want if you care about any of the ethos and values of crypto and blockchain. So I will be talking about that in the near future. Stay tuned for all the interviews and things I'll be doing in the next little while. I aim to just be hammering out tons and tons of stuff. I really want to vamp things up for July and really turn this around, and then be able to show you guys some insights in, if you scale up your posting, what will that look like in terms of earnings? So we'll come back and revisit that next time, or rather 2 times, or 2 reports from now, because the next report is going to be for June, which is going to be pretty dismal, unfortunately. But you can expect the investing report for May and June tomorrow. and then I will be doing the VV and OMI video as well. So stay tuned for all of that. Let me know what you guys think about this. Where are you earning? Where's your favorite platform for crypto and blockchain social? I'm going to be doing an interview with Alan Taylor. So he wrote Crypto Social, and a lot of his stuff, he says he sort of learned from, the videos and things that I've been doing over the years. So that's really great to see. And then he actually put it in a book, which I've been meaning to do forever. Eventually, I hope to do that as well. But if you can't read my book, since it's not out, you can go and check out his Crypto Social. And I went through it. I found it was pretty useful. The first half is like an introduction to the space in general, and the second half is all about the Crypto Social platform. So you can go and check that out. This isn't like a paid thing or anything. It's nice to see other people doing what I'm doing. Because there's really almost no one else doing this. So it's good to have other people who are getting involved in the crypto social space. And I don't consider it as competition because there's just so few of us. I'd rather promote anyone else who's doing it, and we can all learn from each other, because I've barely got time to post content, let alone research other platforms that are out there. So it's great to see other people doing it as well. And as always, I'd love to hear from you guys. Like, where are you using platforms that have crypto associated with them, or blockchain integrated content and things like that? Because you guys help inform me, and I go and review these things and come back with my learnings and insights for you guys. So let me know all that good stuff in the comments below. And if you did watch to the very end, do comment #1ham in the comments below, so I know you watched the whole video. Again, I really want to get back on the wagon and start posting a lot more. Do expect that, and hold me accountable. I know I keep saying this every report, but I'm really going to push myself for July to get past that burnout and all the craziness that's been happening the last little while, and really just hammer out content and focus on getting that out for you guys. I'm going to try and at least do 2 a week. That's the goal, but if anything, I'll do more. We'll see. I've got a lot of big things in the works, so that's why it's been taking me so long. But I know you guys are going to really like it when I finally do get this stuff out. Just stay tuned, and be wary of lending platforms. Celsius just got pretty much tanked. Might get bought out by Nexo. BlockFi is being bought out by FTX. Crypto.com has spent all of their money on advertising. For all I know, they're going down next. There's so much happening in the crypto world. It's hard to keep up. Maybe I need to do like a monthly news or a weekly news update or something. And maybe that's a way for me to create content and sort of stay on top of things while giving you guys some useful information, versus just these monthlies of just focused on my earnings and such. You let me know, though. I'm curious to hear from you guys. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, signing off. Cheers.